Boo. It's Shirgi again. One of these days it'll be someone else. And I'll just have them pretend to be Shirgi. You know, that did happen once actually. Back in 2020. I was on vacation. I was overseas. So I gave my friend my likeness for them to use and stream as me. I didn't even try to like impersonate me or my mannerisms or anything. Just had a completely different appearance for a while. It was really funny. Our streams will begin soon, but I'll sit here for a little bit. Here's mine. Oh. Okay, where was I? Arma wirung kano royai qui primos saboris Italian fato profugus la vignaque venit litura multuiletteris jactatus et alto vi superum saevae memorem iunonis obirang. Who's ready for streaming? I am not. That's why I'm getting everything so ready. I'm feeling quite ready. Where's my... What's I doing? Oh, that's right. Where's my sound on? I don't think it's working. Where's the new score? Hello? Do I have on my... Is it gonna play a note? That's definitely not playing a note. Alright, well, time to restart MuseScore, I guess. Why is it not working? Where's my sound? How am I supposed to be a music channel and then not have sound? I don't think that's quite how that works. Goodness gravy. Oh, there's some sound. There you go. Finally. Okay, get out of here, Discord. Let me sit properly in my chair. I got a bad habit of getting some bad posture. Okay. No, 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 no. Stop showing me these stupid pop-ups. Go away. I misclicked. It was a misinput. Okay, this time I correctly inputted. It was a correct input. Okay. Hello. Hello. What is up? It's me, the Shirgi. I think this background is okay, but I can't seem to find a background that I like. What other images can I use for my background instead? I think I battle with this every time, but I just have no good images. I feel like choosing a different one today. That's in my screenshots folder. I could have it be like music related, but that's lame and boring. Music is stupid. Did I do today's Wordle? I think so. Time to check my Discord, not my Discord server. My friends and mine. How do you say that? Discord server is where we do our Wordles. I opened the chat. Yep, I did it at 1 AM. Then I must have been bored. I already forgot what it was, but I got it in 4 guesses. I've only ever gotten the Wordle in 1 guess, exactly once. It was pretty recently. I'm pretty proud of that. I mean, I don't know if I should be proud of it. It was just a lucky guess. That's not really something to be proud of. I don't think I got yesterday's. I think yesterday's was the word dizzy. And I didn't get that one. I was close, but not quite, unfortunately. Okay, well now that that situation's been done. The Windows XP background, I think I do have that on my computer, and I think it was that for a while. I also have the Vista background, which I also used for a while. If you weren't around for the Windows Vista era of my channel, where I completely modded my Windows 11 install to look like Windows Vista, and it was pretty darn convincing. I got it down to a T, except for all the programs that, you know, kind of broke it because of their weird formatting stuff. But you are able to mod Windows 11, more so Windows 10. You kind of have to do some weird hacky stuff with Windows 11. It's easier to mod, at least as far as I know, visually mod Windows 10. But you can get it to look like Windows Vista, and that's what I did. I also did Windows 7, which is not super different from Vista, but I had Windows 7 skin, then I switched to Vista, or maybe vice versa. I just really like the look of Windows Vista. It's not like, I'm not going to argue that Windows Vista was a good operating system, but it was a sexy operating system, which is why I liked it. It was probably the first operating system that I used, like when I was a kid, like when I first started using computers. It was probably Windows Vista. I don't remember using XP. Like, I have no memory of using Windows XP, but I have memory of using Windows Vista. Maybe Windows Me, but I can't remember that much. But I do specifically remember Vista. I know Windows Vista didn't work with everything. There is a modded Windows 10 ISO file that is just a complete, like it goes into the bare metal of Windows, and it changes some stuff from the inside out to look like, you know, different. And by the way, in case you didn't know, I'm pretty sure that Windows 11 is basically on the code of DOS. Like if you ever open the command terminal, that is just DOS. Like there are more things added since then, but that is just DOS. And that means that there are some legacy Windows. If you go diving deep enough into your Windows install, like a fresh install, and if you look past Candy Crush and Copilot, just brush those past, you are able to find some legacy dialogues from, I think, as far back as Windows 95. Yeah, and like it by like legacy dialogues, I mean like it will include some formatting from then. I don't think it will have the same visuals, just because like the way Windows works, it like changes that. But and you can go to your if you scrounge around for some DLL files. You don't need to know what those are really, but there are some files that include old legacy icons from that era, all the way back to Windows 95. Those icons are still built into Windows. Windows 11 still has those icons installed on its computer or on its system. It just doesn't use them for anything anymore, really. But it still has them, probably just on the off chance that some program somewhere needs them. And I know if you also scrounge around in some properties of executable files, you'll find a dialog that says like, run this program in compatibility mode, and I think it lets you run in compatibility mode as far back as Windows 98, which even if you run something in compatibility mode, I think there's a 0% chance that it'll actually run on Windows 11. Because I've tried downloading some like really offbeat programs on the internet from that era, from 98 and especially XP, and it just, even with the compatibility layer that Windows provides by default, doesn't work. So you'd need to actually spin up a VM for them, which is not really worth it for a lot of things, really. I was just kind of curious, but okay. I did play a little bit of piano today. Starting to forget those those pieces of music that I learned before, but that's fine. I still have all my sheet music, I just didn't bring it. I just am going off of memory, which is of course a great way to fail, is playing from memory, but I'm not good at that. I want to own a celesta. I looked into this like fairly recently. Whoops. Celestas are real expensive. Or celestas, I guess, but is it celesta? Celesta? Shalesta? I'm calling it the Shalesta. The Shakalesta. The Cheshire-Calesta. The Cheshire-Calesta is a very expensive instrument, more expensive than a piano, an upright piano. They're like multiple thousands of dollars, whereas you could probably get an upright piano for like, well, for free sometimes if you're lucky enough, but for a few $100s you could probably get like a pretty old one. But like even like high-end, not high-end, more like, you know, what I guess you could call nicer upright pianos are not as expensive as the lowest end celesta. I would like to have a harpsichord first though. I don't even know if I want a piano. I would rather have a harpsichord first. Not even that the harpsichord's more versatile. I just want one. I want one with all the settings. I want it to have lots and lots of features. Like lute and strings. It's a specialty instrument that starts the price bar high. That's true, and I think there's only like a few companies ever that manufacture them. So their demand is high and their supply is low, so. But why can't they just give me one? Why is that so hard? I guess there are only a few like symphony orchestras, and there are only so many like orchestras in the world, and then there are only so many that play music that requires a celesta, and there's only so many that are willing to pay that much for a celesta and probably not just use like a MIDI keyboard or something. So, or maybe just do like glockenspiel or vibraphone players get celesta parts sometimes? I don't know. I need to recompose my second song for the upcoming festival in the next fortnight or so. Oh, okay. I didn't know that we had a Victorian nobleman in the chat today. That's crazy. What do you think about iPhones? They're pretty cool, right? We're going to be continuing the same thing that I was writing before. I did do a tiny bit of tweaks before then, but then I'm like, oh yeah, I need to stream this. I also am thinking of redoing my rigging for my little tiny chibi figure, the one that appears at the bottom right screen every so often. It's rigged entirely in Blender, and while I am like, I think it's functional and it works, I think I can do way better, and I want to revisit that. So at some point I'll just dedicate some time to re-rigging that. It's the line art really that's kind of bothering me. It's like really like computationally expensive, and that's why I only turn it on during the render time. But I think it's really possible to have it on during the editing time instead of having to just see the line art when it appears in the final render. I would much rather see it before. So I'll probably spend some time figuring out how to do that, but I'm not entirely sure how I'll do it. You mean those shiny rectangles? They truly are a marvel. Exactly. It's like Francis of the Filth once said, if it plays music and porn, that shit is like NASA to me. And it truly is. You were so right, Mr. Francis. I spent a lot of time today sleeping on the couch. Probably like a whole hour. That was very productive. I felt pretty productive doing it. I ate fries. I ate a bagel. That's the extent of my day today. I read the news. I do that every day. And I watched a YouTube video. No. Oh yeah, I watched a YouTube video. It was a podcast. And that's all. And now I'm here. My day is so eventful. I guess there was some other stuff in there, but whatever. Bagel based. Based on what? I had a blueberry bagel. I got the last blueberry bagel they had at the shop. I got the last one. It was so yummy. I love blueberry bagels. I wish I had a little more blueberries in them, but maybe that's just me. I do love blueberries. Bagels aren't fully cut in half to avoid the sliced bread tax. Oh, I didn't know there was a sliced bread tax. That sounds like... that sounds like a myth, but I'm inclined to believe it, because it is weird that they don't completely slice the bagel. Why would there be a tax on slicing your bread? Why does the government think that, wow, your bread is completely sliced? That means I should earn some extra money on that purchase. I ate all the blueberry bagels. Well, I got the last one, so joke's on you. Bagel on your face. Does my face look like a bagel? I mean, I have those big anime eyes, so that's pretty close. I don't know of a sliced bread tax. That sounds excessive. Why am I even questioning this? I have the internet. Okay, just searching up sliced bread tax, then maybe... Apparently doesn't apply. Okay. Just bagels? Sliced bagels? Is there everything but the bagel tax? From NBC News. Consider the iconic New York bagel. Decide to have yours toasted and it will come out with a tax. The rationale is that sliced bagels are usually consumed on a cafe or store's premises, and restaurant meals are taxed, whereas groceries are not. State governments can be remarkably efficient when it comes to finding creative ways to pick up extra cash, and some of their esoteric taxes affect tourists as well as residents. Okay. It's enough to bring to mind the Beatles song Taxman. If you drive a car, I'll tax your street. If you try to sit, I'll tax your seat. If you get too cold, I'll tax the heat. If you take a walk, I'll tax your feet. That is incredible. Why are we taxing slicing the bagel? In the European Union, farmers pay between $18 and $110 per cow to help offset the methane gas each animal produces, despite the fervent protests of livestock groups. Stop taxing our cow farts. Stop taxing our car farts. My favorite bagel is the everything bagel. It'd make it the perfect cream cheese bagel. Everything bagels are scary. They have everything on them, and that's kind of scary. I don't know if I want that many things on it. Like everything? Everything? That's a lot of things. I think I'll just have blueberries on mine. And maybe raisins. I'm okay with raisins. But like everything? And they get everywhere? Like having an everything bagel just gets everywhere. All over the place. All at the same time. Everything in one bagel. How truly terrifying. Everything bagels just mean multiple kinds of seeds. Yeah, lots of seeds, and like almost like every seed really. And you know, while they're at it, they also included like everything. Everything is 100% of things. Wow, that's a real thinker for you. Does an everything bagel contain Victorian morning hair jewelry? Well, it depends on whether Victorian morning hair jewelry is a thing. And if it is a thing, then the everything bagel, by definition, will include it because it includes everything. The everything bagel includes all things, including all sets that don't include themselves. It's a wonder, really. I was considering checking out some books from the library about music theory or orchestration, and then I would read them on stream. But I didn't do that because I was feeling pretty lazy. And so, what do they mean? Everything? Am I gonna find a black hole on this cursed torus-shaped object? Well, if a black hole is a thing, which I'm inclined to say that it is, then it's probably and maybe included in everything. And so it goes on the everything bagel. I love is there like an origin of the everything bagel? Who did that first? Sorry, I turned into an owl for a second there. I would like a bagel with everything on it, please. Origin. The origin of the everything bagel is disputed. A 1977 article, I'm reading off of Wikipedia, in Newsday on where to eat in Syosset, New York, noted that at Bagel Master, quote, for those who can never decide if they want plain salt, poppy seed, sesame seed, garlic, or onion, there's something called the everything bagel, which is topped with all of them. And David Gusson claims he invented it sometime around 1980. Wait, this guy claims he invented it around 1980, but then in 1977, 3 years before the 1980s, is when the news article commented on it. What? This guy's just lying. While sweeping up leftover bagel toppings from the oven, Gusson saved them in the bin and convinced the store owner to make bagels with them. He concurs that others might have previously invented the concept, but insists he coined the name Everything Bagel. I mean, but no, wait, but the 1977 article in Newsday literally says, quote, the Everything Bagel. Oh my gosh. I like a bit of spaghettification on my bagels. You want like a really thin bagel, it's like a spaghettio. Others who have claimed to have invented the Everything Bagel include American restaurateur Joe Bastianic and sports marketer Brandon Steiner. In his blog, Seth Godin said he worked in a bagel factory that produced everything bagels 2 years before Gusson. Brandon Steiner, who believes his invention at a bakery in 1973 predates the others, wrote in a 2016 blog post, one night I was screwing around with different combinations of toppings, Sesame, salt, poppy, onion, and garlic, making braids, onion flats, and other unorthodox concoctions. Is that just what store owners do after hours? They just create complex concoctions of bagels. Then after a while, I had thought to throw all the toppings on a bagel at once. That's how I invented the everything bagel. This was 1973. I was 14. Okay. The thing black holes do, like you stretch like spaghetti. Now I know what spaghettification is. It's because time is slower towards the center of the black hole, so it gets really stretchy. How the conversation even get this off topic? I don't know. I know this is supposed to be like a music stream, but I'm a comedian first, and then a music streamer second. I'll talk about whatever I think is funny, and that includes bagels. Bagels are pretty fun, right? I like bagels. Is this a bagel stream now? If I had bagels, then sure, but I don't have any bagels right now, so unfortunately, it cannot be a bagel stream. I'm very sad about it. I've been thinking of, I think I talked about this before, but I want to start like a new video series. Not like streams, but like videos. My goodness, my lunch is coming back up. Not my lunch, my dinner. I wanted to start a video series of me playing Terraria after the new update came out, but I haven't gotten to that. So we'll see. I have so many games on my like backlog that I haven't played. I have Raft, I have Detroit Become Human, I have I never finished Fallout New Vegas. I got pretty far in Fallout 3, but I never finished it. I never got super far into New Vegas. What other games are there? I've never finished Soma, but to be honest, I got kind of bored of it. Like it's cool, but I don't know, maybe not just not for me. What are the games do I have in here that I have been fixing to play? I want to get back into Kerbal Space Program. I also have Dead Space. I have Deus Ex. Just lots and lots of games. They're mostly shooty bang bang games, but those are the games that I tended to play around the time that I got them, so. I'm still salty about losing my 160-hour vanilla world and 300-hour modded world in Terraria due to data corruption. That's crazy. But that's just why you have to start a new game. It's a Terraria roguelike. I don't think Terraria works as a roguelike. I feel like too many people use that kind of excuse to justify bad gameplay. It's just a roguelike. You know, I have this very extremely controversial opinion about video games. And it applies to basically everything, but if I am to talk specifically about video games, it doesn't matter how complicated or difficult or challenging or innovative your game is. If it's not fun, then I don't care. And I think too many people will defend the game for having good graphics or for having all of these new features, and then the game just isn't fun. Isn't that the point of why you're paying to play a game? It's because you're there to have fun. Now, of course, people's definitions of fun are different from person to person. But I'm pretty easy to please. I have fun pretty easily. But if it's not fun, then I don't want to hear it. Have you played Ultra Kill? No, I don't play games like that. I played Counter-Strike. Much slower than Ultra Kill. I have 809.1 hours in Counter-Strike. That's just in Counter-Strike 2. And the other ones, maybe a few more hours. Risk of Rain. I heard of that, but I haven't played it. I don't even know what the game looks like. What does it look like? Oh, it's this one. Oh, I've seen my friend Michael play this a bit. No, like tactical shooters. Not like, you know, cartoony shooters like Ultra Kill. I would consider that, well, more cartoony than Counter-Strike. What do you consider fun? I think it's fun if games are dynamic and responsive. That's extremely broad. But I think it's very fun to be able to interact with the world, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be procedural, but like being able to interact with the world and then like have it do stuff is pretty fun. I think that's like the appeal of why people like, you know, games like Minecraft so much. The game immediately responds to what you do. Like if you, I'm sure you all have felt this, like as when you play a video game and you think of like a creative way to do something, like, oh, I bet if I did this and this kind of not exploit, but like if I use my materials that I have in this sort of creative way, I could get the objective done, you know, in this like roundabout or loopholey kind of way. And then you try it and then the game either doesn't have that feature or just completely blocks you from doing it in a way that just feels kind of unjustified. Like there's a difference between like using the resources that you have in a way that is a little outside the box, and there's a difference between that and trying to no clip out of the world, which obviously developers should try to stop you from doing, because that kind of defeats the purpose. But like when you think about it, it's like, why am I not able to use this item to do this thing? Like it really feels like I should be able to do that. I'm sure you all have felt something like that before, and that's really defeating, because it's like you think of a creative way and the game doesn't acknowledge your creativity. That's very disappointing. So a game that responds to your actions is the most kind of fun game, because people just like having something fun to interact with. That's what a game is. It's an interactive experience. A game isn't a movie. You shouldn't just be sitting there looking at cutscenes. I'm gonna visit in Ryan Leach's 12-story composing competition for the spring. I don't even know what that is. Who's Ryan Leach? That sounds like a video game character. I know I have video games in the mind, but it is an IMDb page. Wow, that's pretty cool. Hello, Mr. Leach. He has exactly 200 videos on YouTube, which is pretty darn cool. High levels of freedom and adaptability. Yeah. The game adapts to what you're doing. Explain 40% of Ultra Kill. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure that's why that game is so popular, is because it responds to your actions. Just about every game that I can think of that I have a ton of fun in is like that, is very interactive, and responds to things you do very well. Like Noida, that's my favorite game, at least right now. That's very interactive. I want to make a game like that if I ever do. Minecraft's like that, which is also why I enjoy it quite a lot. I feel like I have some opinions about Minecraft, and that I don't get bored playing it. So many people get bored of Minecraft so quickly, and I think people just play games too fast and they get bored. But it's very enjoyable if you just sit down and be creative with it. But anyway, and City Skylines, I like that game a lot. Anything you do in that game, you're like micromanaging your city, and just about everything you do will have consequences, good or bad. Which is also, I think, why I would be a perfect fit to play a game like Dwarf Fortress, is because you can do absolutely everything in that game, and I really want to try. I just haven't yet, but I most definitely will at some point get Dwarf Fortress and give it a try. Like, it might be difficult, but I don't really care that much about how difficult a game is if it's really fun. Again, with the Noida example, like, that game is extremely difficult to get to the higher levels. I'm still in, like, haven't even like scratched the surface of what there is to do in that game and the difficulty curve that is ahead of me, but I still find myself coming back to it because it's just so responsive. It doesn't have the high level amounts of cortisol I need for my walnut brain. I'm kind of the opposite in a way. I'm not a huge fan of extremely fast-paced games. That's not my thing. That and like precise movement games I can't do. Especially, well, this keyboard that I have right now, this is the Unicomp Mini M keyboard. And it's not a very responsive. It's not that it's not responsive. It's not as responsive as like a gaming keyboard. Like the keys aren't extremely precise. The latency between the computer and the keyboard isn't super duper precise, and I don't need it to be. Because I don't play any games or do any kind of thing that requires super high precision of my keyboard besides typing. When it comes to typing, this thing is completely what I want. But when it comes to like playing games, I just don't need anything that's super duper precise. I just want something that I enjoy typing on, which is this. I got the biggest, clackiest keyboard there is. Not the biggest in terms of sound. Maybe it's not the loudest really, but it's definitely the thunkiest. It sounds like buildings are falling on top of my head every time I'm trying to type with it, and that's exactly what I like in a keyboard. Ryan has the competitions on another UIT channel that's just 12-story music composing competition. I'm considering it, but I don't know. I'm sure. That's 12-story music composing. That's how I spell that. Competition. I really feel like I need to participate in more competitions or music jams so I can make myself more known, but also I don't know if I want to do anything like that. Every spring and autumn. Hold on. Hello, 12-story music. Why is it 12 stories? From a robust YouTube channel to a thriving Discord community. Is that a real image of a microphone? In-depth courses, we are all about helping people become better composers. Our aim is to make learning to write music more fun, easier to understand. So why are there so many music theory books and courses so academic and stuffy? It doesn't need to be that way. We love everything from Bach to Beyonce, and we're not afraid to mix serious compositions. Where does the name 12-story music come from? Back in high school, Ryan's band was called 12-story house. Well, why was it called 12-story house? This is Mr. Leach's profile picture on YouTube too. I love this image that he's chosen for himself because it's so smug. It looks like he it looks like he just woke up from surgery or something. Like the anesthetic is wearing off. Orchestral range tool. Warm timbre, cold timbre. What is this? How do I... Oh. What instrument goes like that? None of them. With the help of Claude. Dang. Claude is back. What about this? Full ob col tupt. Wow. This is the kind of website that I was trying to create, but I just kind of stopped. If you go to shirgi.neocities.org, I have a very rudimentary like website. Like I have this thing, and then I kind of set up a quick panel here with some stuff just as a test. So this is like a test of my, you know, formatting. And so there's like the paragraphs, and there's this table from which I pulled, like you might recognize this table I pulled out last time. It's just a screenshot of that. I haven't worked on it though, but like I kind of wanted something similar to this where it like gives you composing tools, which is why I have the chords one. But that was kind of like, and no, you can't play the piano on the side. It's just an image. Maybe one day, but I don't really plan on doing it soon. Only arranged short stand tunes and a bunch of unfinished perk ensemble music. That's pretty cool. I'm sorry, those images were not made by a person. I'm looking at them now. I'm like, bro, learn to write music for anime and JRPGs. Cool. Am I sure that these lessons were written by a person? I'm a little suspicious. I'm not sure if it was. Can I open this image in a new tab? Come on now. No person drew this image. There's no way. That's fine. Contact. Yo. Why is the O so large in the title? I don't know. Master the score. Learn to master the score. Oh, I also recognize this guy because of where's his YouTube channel? Because someone posted a screenshot of this thumbnail he created. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. Well, this thumbnail here. This thumbnail is so wacky. Not only is it the lick, but it's like, do not use the whatever that is. I haven't actually watched the video. It's like underlines the note F. How dare you write an F? That's a mistake. I don't know, like also like the tie D, it's like, don't do that. That's bad. I could never post videos like this. It just isn't my style. The orchestration method that always works. Just because a method works doesn't mean it's a good method. The lick is never a mistake. It's true. It's like puns. Always intend your puns and always intend your licks. If you write the lick, you better own up to it. And if you accidentally make a pun, darn it, you better own up to that as well. Otherwise, I'll be disappointed in you, and you don't want that, do you? As the online anime girl, you obviously constantly need my approval. Isn't that correct? So you better intend your puns. Idiots. I've been slowly sinking into my chair here, so let me fix my posture. That yawn was for free. Okay. Let's get started writing music now. Oh, I've been live for 51 minutes without actually writing a single note. Okay. Sure. Anyway, I was gonna write for some piano. Where's the piano? That one. Before I had some happening, but I want something a little bit nicer here. It doesn't even have to be like cooler, it just has to be different. Let me turn down that volume. It's already pretty loud. It only gets quieter later. I've been thinking about how to make this part quieter because I think this beginning section is like, I want it to be loud, but I think it's just too loud. Like there's too much. I think it might have to do with the inclusion of the contrabass here. Yeah, it's definitely the contrabass. Playing that low G there. I'll have it just strike on this D. Okay. That seems a little bit lighter. Without the snare drum, it's quieter too. What this tambourine is playing used to be what the snare drum played. So hopefully the snare drum isn't... I left the snare drum here as a comparison, and the difference is quite apparent, I think. So let's forgo the snare for a second. Maybe no hit there. Maybe one hit there. Okay. Again from the beginning. Can I also have some staccato triangle hits? Bit quieter, you. Are you guys even playing? Hello? Where are you? Oboes and clarinets. No, fortissimo is the way to go. Oh, that's right. It seems emptier because I got rid of the piano. Okay, I have an idea. Let's try... Let me copy the chords that are happening here in U, just so I don't have to keep scrolling down to look at them. Okay. So I need here, we're in G major. That's not G. You're a treble clef, aren't you? Because I'm a maniac. Bass clef. Now you're G. Man, there are sirens outside right now. That's probably fine. I just need something... No, I don't like that. Something like... I'm trying to imagine playing this myself. I don't actually have a keyboard in front of me, so I can't... I I can't just play it, unfortunately. Here, you know what? I am gonna be insane and put you back on treble clef just for a second. Here, don't erase the chord symbols, please. Okay, and then try. That's the wrong quality of note. I need you to be a tiny bit shorter. And by tiny bit, I mean a lot shorter. I don't want it to be that wide either. And also I think that that fast is not what we want. Maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. That means triplets. Nope. Wrong notes. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 12, 4, 3. Oh, why am I getting so confused on this? This shouldn't be that difficult now, should it? Did I just miscount? 12, 4. Three. Did I I mean, what in the world am I doing? No, that's correct. No, I got it right the first time. Okay. There you go. Okay. Whatever. So now that should be... Yeah. And then if I have you play again, just as a fun experiment, I'll have you play just till the end here. And I just want to hear what this kind of movement sounds like. If I don't like it, then maybe I'll just revert back to the original. Not that, that's the wrong line. I think this really only works in if it was an octave though. Okay. I realize now that I failed to copy the beginning part of this arpeggio. But I'm not really opposed to that kind of sound. I don't know how I managed to screw that up, but let's try something like that then. Something a bit more downwards falling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I could do something like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Five, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I forgot you're in 3, 4 first, so everything's just going to be slightly offset now. But nevertheless, here we go. What do you say about that? I also realize you're kind of cutting into that now. Let's not have that. I like that a bit more than what we had before. It's a bit more movement. I think maybe it should be a bit faster. Okay. Try this then, since I don't like that. Can you do... Oh, man. And also... something like this, maybe. I want to hit with this movement. That's closer to what I want. If I move you up an octave again, what do I think of this one? That sounds kind of like Pac-Man wandering through the maze, but I'm not super opposed to something like that. And I don't know if I even want to change it per notes. That might be a bit much. Because I'm not imagining this being played extremely precisely. I just want it to, like, you know, convey a certain feeling. And that doesn't necessarily have to be precisely done. If I do pedals on this, listen to this back, what do I think? It needs to be lower. And I think forte is a bit much. It's not playing the melody. Mezzo forte is fine. I also just realized I didn't go the full way because I'm a dum-dum. So you do the full way. What in tarnation is going on here? What is this? Get out of here. For I'll break your bones, I ain't your pop. Let's have a line here. Go line. Good. Okay, you've heard that all before. Let's move on to this part here. I did add the melodies from what I wrote before in here. And we're going to move on to this part. This is the one where I was writing for... Yeah, this is the contrabass. Don't move in that last one. I can be slightly louder, I think. I changed my mind. Excuse me? Not that much movement, please. Don't move down to C. Don't play another note. Tie that. Okay. There was something in there I didn't quite like. It might be that it's a bit too thick. I need to lighten it up a little bit. Yeah, I really think it's... I think the multiple contrabasses is not the right move. Try it on one tuba. Pianissimo. Program assist is mu score 4. Okay, put the pizzicatos here. Go. I need these pizzicatos to be a bit more apparent. I am not hearing them. Any VSTs? Nope. I actually do have a few VSTs, but they're not like orchestral ones, so I don't use them on MuseScore. Do I... tuba just isn't right. But then who's gonna play the bass? I know there's a bass clarinet, but that's not what I want. Maybe it is what I want. I'll let you guys move up a step, because I'm lazy. And you... what are you doing? You move here. And you move to the this clarinet. I was about to say E clarinet. There was no E clarinet. Okay, right, and then you, instead of being on the tuba, please be on the bass clarinet. Okay, try the clarinet harmony now. I don't think that the clarinet is incapable of playing this A. As much as I wish it was true. Try again. Also, can you go down to Forte again? Actually, be Forte. Forte, Fortissimo, down to Forte. Be a bit more bold. You're playing the melody. Go. Yes. Don't be shy. No mezzo forte. Nice and bright and clear. It sounds so much better that way. I'm okay with you guys being mezzo forte because you're like 5 billion violins playing at once and I need to be able to control them and put them in lines, so... Okay. Those ones sound great already. Thanks. I paid a lot for them, so they better sound darn good. Is that a DAW? I don't know if I would consider MuseScore a DAW. Okay. Let's hear this in context. So, 2 measures before. It needs a cymbal. I already have one, but I can't hear it. The piano accent. There's got to be more pizzicato. That's my official opinion. Another one. Another pizzicato. Go up. Everyone move, 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 move. Okay, well maybe not the contrabass. Okay, well it'd be great if I could hear it. Oh my gosh. What orchestral libraries? These are the Berlin sounds. It is digital and you're working it as a workstation for audio. You know what? You're so right. You're technically right, and that's the best kind of correct, so I'm going... I will concede that to you. Try the mixer to bring it up. These guys are already super loud. That's one of the, again, one of the things that I don't really call it a Digio I don't call it a Digio audio workstation on, is that you can't dynamically adjust the volume slider. And I know that sounds kind of weird because I think maybe some of you are screaming at me like, why would you use the volume slider if you can just use dynamics? But I'm like, but this pizzicato I can't hear even though it's playing at mezzo piano. I need to like manually bring up the gain or something at this one particular part, but MuseScore doesn't have the automation for that. And maybe there's like a plugin for it, or I could build one, but that seems like a glaring issue that the one... That's something that I've had other people complain about too in MuseScore, and it's a completely valid complaint. Why is there no automation? There's no automation. In MuseScore, yep. And yes, from orchestral tools. Sometimes the instruments themselves are too quiet in the program. Sometimes they're too loud. Sometimes they're too quiet. Like, it's just a... Can you not EQ in MuseScore? You will have to get a third-party plugin, a VST plugin, to do EQ. And even then, I've heard... I haven't really tried it out because I haven't really had a reason to, but VST support in MuseScore is just, it's awful. Terrible. But yeah, if we I gotta blow $500 on Dorico. I got 500 to spend elsewhere. Do you go to school for music? Nope. So, like, for example, this is a wonderful celesta sound that I'm using from the orchestral tools libraries. But you can hear, like, the weird... There's, like, a weird barrier somewhere in the middle between mezzo forte and forte where it becomes a bit more striking, and it's kind of strange. And I think it's even more apparent on the piano. If you'll excuse the Petrushka chord for a second. You hear how the volume is kind of oddly placed? It, like, goes up and then back down? Like, I don't understand why that is. Sounds mad and mysterious. Thanks, that's why I wrote it like that. Dynamics can change the timbre and volume slider, or digital compression just moves the bits of audio. There's specific uses for both in digital composing. I know that, but sometimes your pitches are just too quiet and I just need a very simple volume adjustment. MuseScore just does that. It sure does. It's frustrating sometimes to try and rein it in, but whatever. Adjust the velocity each note is not possible in Muse. It is possible, but the way that the playback engine works with these like custom sounds, you can change the tuning, which is interesting, but like it's a little funky, and the velocity is not. It's mainly for like legacy, quote unquote legacy MIDI playback. For these like custom proprietary sounds, I don't believe it uses the velocity. It uses the dynamics. Okay, back to this. I can't hear you. Where are you? Here, I do have you playing on soft mallets. Let's make you a bit different. Normal. Higher. Better. Sob the bass. Stop the bassoon. Where are you? Why is this quarter rest slightly higher than the other one? What is happening here? Stop that. Why are you like that? Erase this. Try those. Spitfire products. Yes, I have their Rare Flutes collection, which is very interesting, and I have their Union Chapel organ. Because it's a very good organ. Good Notes by the Arrow Key, maybe? Yeah. Well, no. Well, that see that when I move it with an arrow key, it's like it's more of a difference. How did I move it that tiny amount? Unless I like accidentally dragged it a very slight amount. But I don't remember. I don't know how I could have done that. I just slam a multi-band compressor on the master, so everything is always loud in my DAW. I love that. That's like that's the equivalent of fixing your car up with the flex tape. It's like, yeah, it's louder. At what cost? I don't know. Sound quality, I guess. But you're probably writing for so many instruments that you can't even tell the difference. And it's going to be all compressed in YouTube anyway. Okay. Try again. Ooh, this definitely needs like some trombones. Oh wait, never mind. I already added them. Man, I'm so in tune with myself. I think it needs a bit more, something a bit more atmospheric. Maybe flutes. I think clarinets are nice. They're too smooth. I need something, because oboes are already reed instruments, clarinets also reed instruments. I want a little bit more contrast, so I'm going to put y'all in the flauts. Where are you, flauts? There you are, flauts. You're already being played by... You're already playing alto flute. What am I going to do about this? You go here. You go, or you first. You go here, or probably you belong here more. Yeah, just go back down to piano. You just end here, and then this guy, you go right here. As the... Why did I write it like this? Swappy swap. Swap. Okay. Any composer you draw inspiration from? Stravinsky first. Bartok second. And Holst third. In terms of writing music, in terms of listening to music, my tastes are a little different. But in terms of writing, those are the ones I look to first. Because I think they're all masterful orchestrators, and I admire them very much for their orchestration. Especially Stravinsky. My favorite composer is probably Big Time Rush. You're right, that's iconic. That's F. You're already playing A up here. That's A. This would probably be better on an alto flute. Alright, well, onto the alto flute you go then. Let me do the old switcheroo here. And then I'll just have you switch back to the C flute. Where's the change instrument text? Nope. There you go. Just an avid strings player who has little song ideas though, so I've given the privilege of working on small OST for a game and right now for a comic series. That's pretty cool. I haven't done any like commission work like that where I work on it for a project or anything, so maybe one day. But I don't see myself being commissioned in the future, it's just not my style. Like, in my mind, I'm hearing some very misty piano arpeggios, but maybe that's a bit overbearing. I'm a little afraid of it becoming a bit too cheesy. This is, unless, in case you weren't here for my previous streams, this is supposed to be like the nice relaxing, of course relaxing, but like, pardon from all the chaos that happens before and after. Okay, I am not hearing you guys. Maybe I'm just... I need you to stay up here at E, please. And maybe you at C. Okay. And then here I want something nice and smooth so it can move to the more strange trombone line that comes after this. And then do a decrescendo, please, down to very, very quiet. And then you guys just do stuff, I guess. And I want this trombone line here to kind of reintroduce the mystery. Okay, I cannot hear you. Louder. Can you be slightly higher? I would like you to be a, where's accidentals here? Can you please be a quarter sharp? Where's the quarter sharp? Here. Yes, that's what I want. Okay. I had to place these very specifically in trombones because I don't know if other keyed... I would want bassoons, but I don't know if bassoons, given that they're keyed instruments, can do this. Maybe with little tweaks, but either way, I wanted something a bit frightening. So that's why I opted for trombones. Really, I wanted something like Wagner tubas, something a bit like almost like purposefully out of tune, which is why, I mean, I don't have a Wagner tuba sound, so I just went with trombones, which are close enough for what I have. Would you like any stuff from Penderecki, sorry. Well, no, I haven't heard of that name before, sorry. I think I want like horns to be introduced somewhere here. Somewhere halfway through. Like on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th beats. Sorry, I had to count there to myself. Like here. Right here on this 5th beat here. Some horn. We're getting some horn action in my music. Let's add probably not a full chord. Hopefully chat more and get to find a music composition community. That's very sweet of you, but we mostly talk about how much we hate Joseph Haydn. And that's about all. Not too much happens. Right, A major. Maybe low A as well. So we do have a double A here, but that's fine. That's fine. That's a bit loud. A, D. Nice contrary motion. No. A, move up to D. You stay, you stay, you stay, you stay. But I kind of want that F sharp there. If I have F sharp here in the bass, or tenor, sorry, then you would need to be in the, you would need to be E. And I guess you can technically, I'm pretty sure a horn can play that. It won't be very happy, but it can do that. And plus, if I make the fourth horn do that, we're probably fine with it. I think it's probably okay. 2, 3, 1, and then I want 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me just repeat this. Make y'all whole notes. And I also want, where is my triangle friend? Which one of you is the triangle? You're the fourth from the bottom, so you. You're a triangle. Am I in the right measure? I sure am. 1, 2, 3. Psh. Nice and quiet. Alright. Let me listen back. I want some very, like, really light, but still present piano lines happening, I think. Something slow, almost monotonous. Maybe something a bit flowy, like, you're the bass clef. That's too slow. Let's fix that. That's too fast. Okay. Maybe, hello. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need one playing on the... Nope, nope, nope. On the third beat here. How everyone is looking. Whoopsies. And then similar rhythm. Where's my pedal lines? Are you playing? You're playing at the low dynamic. I don't like that you have the same rhythm as the oboes. Hold on. There's a little sparse here. That's incorrect. Out of tie here. Go. You're too on beat. Can you please be right around here, please? And that's fine. Go. And then back to D major, that's correct. Where's my pedal marking? Yoink. Can you have maybe the right hand of the piano play these notes? What's this? F and A. Like that. Nice and quiet though. Again, nothing too big and bold. Not Arco, I forgot to remove that. No, not too loud. And no pedal after this point, please. No pedals allowed beyond this point. Keep it nice and legato the old-fashioned way, if you will. I guess I can just... This feels kind of awkward, so I'll just write legato. And I think these horns have got to trail off into being woodwinds, right? So let's do like a W tail. Okay, hold on, give me a second. Has some weird audio glitch there, but it's okay, we're fine now. Replace you guys with bassoon. and clarinet. Oh, you're still bass clarinet, that's right. Okay, that's of course too loud. Nice and quiet, y'all. And focus on the chord. Maybe the bass, what do you call the bass woodwinds aren't what I want either. Let you guys. Continue your thingy. I don't think I can get away with making you mezzo forte. That's a bit too much. I think maybe a horn, like an F horn, can play this, but a horn for short, I guess. I prefer the bit more mellow sound. I think it could be interesting somewhere else, though. Oh, whoopsies. Okay. Start again from over here. Bit more percussion happening here, pretty please. I would like a piatti hit here. Catch you later. And see you around. Puh. And also a tam tam. Go tam tam. I changed my mind. Be suspended symbol. Bit louder on the triangle, please. 3/4 flat cymbal with this guy. It's beautiful, ain't it? I love it. I also want. Let me listen back. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. I want another 7 hits happening. And I guess it should be D instead of E. Not this glockenspiel vibraphone, please. Why are you so loud? Shut up. What do I need here? I want like... I need more bode symbol here, but I don't know where exactly I would want it. A little bit before... What in the world? A little bit before this, please. Whoa, oh my gosh, it's a jumping back and forth. Stop that. Okay, well, it would really help if I could hear it. Is it playing? Forte. Oh my gosh, it's just lying to me. Where's the bowing? Why is it so lame? Okay, and then stuff will happen after this. I have an idea of what it'll be. Might have to look at some scores for reference, but... Let's start again from here. Too much harmony, too thick. How do I fix this? Maybe a bit more open. Okay. No, A. Clarinet solo a little bit louder, please, my friend. Okay. Get rid of that. be below. There you go. You belong in Chalesta. I changed my mind. Go in Chalesta. I said go! But also shush. Sorry, just sounded like a train. Beautiful. I guess you don't need to hold that for that long since you're a piano, you'll die off anyway. The bowing needs to start here, I think. That's all. I think I don't want to overuse the bowing. It's got to be a bit more special effecty and not be used too early. I want a triangle part here, very quiet. Get rid of the tam-tam here. I gotta be very particular about this since it's so quiet now. Okay. I think the clarinets can either change notes or go away. Probably go away. But who's gonna play in the background? Probably bassoons. Nice low D. A fifth here to make it sound a bit more gravelly. Okay, and then I have an idea for the next part, but I'm not gonna do that just yet. Maybe next time, but I want to focus more on what I already have written. Again? Too much E. Now that you're already playing this E, you just play C and you shut up. Go away, second violins. Let the violas take over for once. I think the the double reeds have to at least open up at some point for a breath, and I'm trying to find where that is. Around here. It sounds more natural if they do that, but not all at once. You guys take turns doing this, just to kind of keep the continuity of the double reed sound. Okay. Like this? Okay, and this latter half, please, pretty please, diminish a teeny weeny bit down to muff. Please, both of you go to muff. You go to muff. Good. Hello. Okay. I don't like this. That hit needs to be a bit more pronounced. Maybe combine with more of the triangle. Quieter. Please, pretty please, combine with the chalessa for this. You guys in the left hand. Okay. You, my friend, are too loud. Shut up. Okay, that will probably finish for that section. I'm going to re-listen to this part, and I'm going to think about if there's anything I want to change. Usually there is, and I'm going to find it. I want to break here. Let me get ready for the piano jump scare. Piano, shut up. Don't change the English horn here just yet. You can change that over here though, when I actually do need an English horn, which is all the way out here. Thank you. But over here, I don't need an English horn just yet. Stay on the oboe, please. This is F sharp. No, you're... And there's A sharp here, and you're currently at A sharp and F sharp. Can you guys go away? Thank you. And you guys go to pianissimo after you're being dovetailed into the clarinet. So get rid of that flute texture, replacing it with the reed texture. Better. It's a little less full, which is what I want. If only I could hear this clarinet more though. I guess there are more clarinets. Alright, third clarinet, it's your time to shine. What chord is this? It's a 1 G 7 diminish F sharp diminished over C sharp. Is that what it is? Is that, well, then why is there a G here? Was I looking at the wrong chord? 7 G C, no. G C sharp. No, I think I'm overthinking this. Whatever. Just write whatever sounds right. Okay. Try this. I don't like that second there. Trying these weird textures here. Try this. What do you sound like? Okay, I like that. Can you be D instead of C double sharp? I'm sure there was a good reason I wrote that, but I'm just disliking that now. Good, okay. Barely continue after 30 minutes and I'm bored of writing. Maybe you just gotta write something that appeals more to you. I don't know. That sounded snarky, but I did mean it. Something a bit more fun and experimental. Try? I want this to be a little bit longer. What in the world happened? No, 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 what the heck? This needs someone playing in the background at some scales, I think. Or arpeggios. Who's it gonna be, though? Could be the piano. While the left hand is busy playing this rumbly bit here. Then we have someone else playing arpeggios. I kind of jacked for that idea. Let's give that a shot. Trying to imagine what they would sound like here. Let's try. Maybe like. Something like. That's not very fun sounding, though. It's not fast enough, I don't think. Try this kind of two-plate instead. Again, I don't really expect the player to play these super duper on the beat. It's more so for the sound effect more than the melodic quality of it. I'm sure you can kind of garner that from the way I'm writing. Try this, and then here, move down a half step, and you guys move like this. And then, oh my gosh, don't do that. Delete that. And this is absolutely terrible. Can you do a layout break here, please? Yoink. There you go. And delete that. You probably need to be an octave up, because I can't really hear you at all. Let me move this treble clef over here. Clef, treble clef. Why are you like that? What? No, wait, that was correct. No, F sharp is correct. Never mind. Oh my gosh, what in tarnation happened? You're supposed to be quiet. Oh, I forgot to add the P, probably. Where's the P? Ayupiati, your snare. Oh, I guess I didn't add the P. Add the P. I added the P. There you go, okay. Scared me there. Also, what is this? You gotta be the other kind of pedal line. Yoink. And then you just pedal all the way to the end because you're just a bunch of nonsense. And I do mean nonsense. Okay, wait. I think both sets of horns is unnecessary. That's right, and I wanted more trumpets here. I remember. Why are you like this? Can you be triple forte as well? 2 trumpets, please. You know what? All 3. Why not? I need to hear that very sharply. The same thing with you. Nice and marcato. There you go. Okay, try again from here. Boing. Good. No, move you back down to double F, because trumpets are loud enough on their own. And just have 2 of you. I also want a little bit more rolling action in one of these instruments. I don't know who it's going to be, but probably triangle. Let's do triangle. So here in this last bar here, just do 4 beats of stuff. Since you're a triangle, I'll let you go to fortissimo. I'll do a crescendo here, and I want you to roll. Please do a staccato here. Go. Some of the harmony here is missing. What happened? E, B, G sharp. Is that not happening here? There is G sharp happening here in the second trombone. Is the second trombone just not loud enough? Can you... oh, wait. I would like these to be in the trumpets as well. This is a flat 5 augmented. What's this? G augmented. Augmented for short. I'll have here is G augmented. The trumpet can't go super low, can it? How low can it go? E. Okay. I'll have you play G. And you know what? I'll have you play a triad. Why not? Something kind of surprising, but you will die off pretty quickly. Nah, it's not biting enough. It's got to be more shocking. So how about you play this and you play this? Yeah, like that. And also, because I'm evil. Or not staccato. accent. Or maybe not. That sounded kind of terrible. Just do a normal thing. Maybe even higher. You know what? Screw it. Oh, you're gonna kind of clash with the melody, I guess, so you'd be down here. This is gonna be kind of weird, but can you do a drill, pretty please? No, it doesn't sound as cool. Maybe it's tremolo I want. Not really. I want something a bit sharp here, but not like... nothing like this where it's like just holding a note straight. Maybe instead what I want is... This is gonna be a bit weird, but bear with me for a second. Can you guys all be staccato? And then I'll have someone else kind of carry on their mission for them. All three oboes. Do a... Probably should have just done this one of you. Nope. Why did I press that? Wrong button. No. U, 2, 3. Control C, Control V. There you go. A little louder because you're oboes. Go. Try again. Top oboe. Maybe you want, maybe I want. What do I want? Can you be G... Was you major third? No, do a diminished fourth, will you? There you go. And you too, actually. Can you do a... What are you... major third? Where are you? And a third. Major third. And you also a major third, so I guess copy, paste. There you go. Perfect. Exactly what I need. Or just two, please. Maybe try it on clarinets. That's interesting. Go. Loud. Bit higher. I suppose the E-flat clarinet would excel in this. As expected, it excelled a bit too much because it's the E-flat clarinet and there ain't no avoiding that guy. Here, just one. I think one is good enough. The sound needs to die away a bit more first before moving to this guy here. Or maybe just make it louder. I need the fall off here to be even more great. Can you move to like 55% speed? Just really slow down. You both, please, pretty please, go down to N. That's actually too quiet, believe it or not. I think triple P might be the way to go for y'all. I don't know if these guys can go to triple P on account of their construction. I know for sure you guys can, though. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna call for it anyway. Hold on. There's something I didn't quite like. Tie this. And you guys tie this. I don't like that you started your note again, I think. Better. Rest here. This. Don't do that. Hold this. Tie this. Please start at mezzo forte. You guys combined with clarinets I think would sound quite grand. Where are my clarinet friends? There they are, kind of already playing something. That's fine though. Don't do a tie here, because I know you can't. Just do a normal playing of the notes. Maybe like a lot time for a rest here. Similar story for you. And you can just end there. And then similar story for you here. Pretty please. Okay. No, I don't like that. Can you be 4 beats? 3, no. 3. Fourth one is cut in half. Your 3 beats. You tie. Try those. Better? Can you be playing a 3rd? Okay, good. How's your night going? Sleepy. That's how my night's going. Okay, try again from here. Again, just gonna keep doing this until I get it perfect. Triangle. I've had an epiphany, and it's a triangular one. Don't need that, just make sure you're playing the... Nope, you're playing the right dynamic though. Where is the triangle? Why are you even there? Oh my gosh, I've already turned it up a bunch. Can this solo go on a violin? I know it's really high, but I'm just curious. Maybe it needs to be quieter. Yeah, definitely quieter, but... well, it's more idiomatic of the flute to play this, so... Well, not necessarily idiomatic, it's just written for the flute. Not really written for violin, doesn't really sound very good on it, so I shall keep you there. I mean, this song was written for viola, but clarinet and viola are quite nice together, so I think they're okay. I'm making the clarinet play... These are like almost all throat tones here, so... But the clarinet sounds so good playing it. I mean, but it is a computer playback, so there's that. To be honest, I'm not quite sure where the clarinet and E-flats throat tones are. That is something I should know, but I just don't. You know what? Just stay there. I'm sure it'll be fine. It's okay. It's not like it's supposed to be super loud. It's just supposed to sound good. And nobody needs that, really. Where are the slurs? There you go. Where did they go? Okay, that loud triangle is really ticking me off. I need to hear more of the bowed symbol and less of the triangle. Maybe a tuba here or a bass trombone when the celesta hits. Yeah, what chord is this? Maybe E would be good here. And maybe even timpani. Something a little less evil sounding though, but just only a little bit less. E and E flat here. Perfect. No, I like that less than I thought I would like it. I thought it'd be much cooler. Okay. That's probably good for now. Okay. Well then, welp, I suppose. That'll be all for today. I know it was a little shorter than my other streams, but it's almost midnight, so I'm gonna go to bed because it's Sunday. Thanks for watching. Didn't get super duper much done. I feel like I say that every time. I'm just not very productive. But that'll be all for today. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and also join my Discord server. You can look in the description for that. Come talk to me. I'll tell you all about how I hate my computer and it doesn't listen to me. I'll see you later. Bye 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 bye.